Yo, what's up? Peace and blessings. This is me, the Hugh to the EMC, aka HughCipher, and this is the first of what I hope to be many of my video commentaries on my HughCipher page. I also have a HughEMC page with some of my videos for some of my classic hip-hop and some of my new hip-hop, so you can check that out, HughEMC on YouTube. Hit me up on Facebook or Twitter. You know, I'll get back at you. This particular page, I'm going to be building off science, psychology, philosophy. Basically, it's going to be a page where I make social commentary and also talk about history and culture. So we're going to start this off kind of with a blast. I've been prompted to make these videos for the last few years, just haven't gotten around to it, but this particular subject made me finally sit down and feel that I had to address something. Now, this is a rebuttal to a guy by the name of NigaHiga. NigaHiga is a pretty awesome dude, makes great videos, has a lot of fans, and he made a video commentary basically defending Justin Bieber's racism. The particular Justin Bieber incident about his usage of the N-word and some of his racist graffiti. And this is a rebuttal to Mr. NigaHiga's defense of Justin Bieber. Now, NigaHiga is an awesome dude, pretty awesome dude, and I don't want him to take this as an attack on him, but this is a rebuttal to his defense of Justin Bieber as not being racist. I noticed that on his timeline, there was a lot of people who really don't understand what racism is and the meaning or the origin of the N-words. And I'll get to that in a minute, N-words, because nigger and nigga actually are different words at this point. Now, the thing is this, most people I see look at racism as if it's either you're racist or not racist, like it's an on-off switch. Actually, racism really isn't that black and white, pun intended. Racism is more like a spectrum. You know, at one end you have Hitler, on the other end you got the little old school teacher who's just culturally insensitive, doesn't realize that they're saying something culturally insensitive, and then you have a whole variance of things in the middle. Between Hitler and the little old school teacher, I would say Justin Bieber is about right here. Now, the reason is this. He's 16 years old. By the age of 11 or 12, I knew what was a racist word. I knew what was a derogatory term. I knew how to address other races and cultures properly. So obviously at the age of 16, he knew better. And especially in some of the videos, he has friends telling him, don't do that, don't say it, don't go there. But he goes there, you know. And like most racism, he obviously learned that from adults in his life. I don't know if it was his mom or his dad or some uncles or something, but he learned that from adults that he was around. Because racism, thank God, is something that's taught, you know. By the age of 11 or 12, I knew better, you know. I went to a store called Foodland, that was run by all Chinese people, and I knew better than to call the people Chinamen. That was a culturally insensitive term. I knew that as a little kid. So Bieber had to know better, you know. And that's also why I made some of the comments on Mr. NigaHiga's timeline about the Chinky Chinky Chinaman song, which was done by kids a lot younger than Bieber was. And I didn't get any responses from that. In fact, I think the comment was flagged. So that just kind of tells me that especially a lot of the Asians that were so quick to give Bieber a pass for singing about a nigger and killing a nigger and being able to join the Klan because of that, they were so quick to give him a pass on that. But the Chinky Chinky Chinaman song, that touched a nerve. And the Chinky Chinky Chinaman song is fucking racist. It's a racist song. And that was my point. And hopefully, you know, somebody got that, you know. I saw a lot of intelligent people on the timeline, black and non-blacks, and it made me feel relatively good to see that we had some real thinkers out there. Segueing from that, the word nigger. I mean, you have nigger and you have nigga, which is a slang of nigger. Nigga, nigger. They're both spelled different, they're both pronounced different, they're both used differently, therefore, technically, they're different words. The word nigger is a word that has been in flux. Its origin is from the word Niger, and Negro, which means Niger is black in French, and Negro is black in Spanish. Totally uncharged, neutral words that are descriptive of the color of something, in particular an object. That word was adulterated by Anglo-Americans into nigger and used as an insult. African Americans over the years, after being bombarded by that word for so long, took it, as we say, owned it, transformed it, and used it as a term of endearment, or just as a neutral word, kind of like dude or man or bro or something like that. So you have two words with the same root that are actually used differently. Words have always grown. They are constantly in flux. If you study etymology, words are always changing. For example, you might see a police wagon and you're gonna call it a paddy wagon. You know, usually that's what people call them. Now, paddy wagon comes from the derogatory term paddy, which is a racist term for Irish, particularly Irish Americans. There was a time where stereotypically drunk Irish were so rowdy that they were always getting rousted by the police and tossed in the police wagon. So people would start saying, oh, there goes a paddy wagon. Now today, most people don't even know that racist origin of the word paddy wagon. There's a lot of words that we use today that have racist origins. You know, for example, the term hip hip hooray comes from a German song that Germans sang while hunting Jews in 14th century, 15th century Germany. So that's something that we totally forgot, right? Because that was centuries ago. The epoch of slavery that we're dealing with today is relatively recent. Jim Crow, which is like American apartheid, only ended about 46 years ago. So your mom and most definitely your grandparents were alive when Jim Crow was in effect. So we're still dealing with a lot of pain, a lot of injury from racism. Also, just a tip, if you're not from somebody's particular culture, somebody's particular race, trying to tell them what's racist or not to them is pretty arrogant. You know, again, I just kind of want to make it clear about what racism is. Just because you say a joke doesn't make you not racist. If you say a racist joke, it's racist. Doesn't make you Hitler, doesn't make you David Duke, but it makes you a little racist, you know? In the beginning of NigaHiga's video, he's like, yeah, he was accused of a little racism. Like, you know, he's already minimizing it. So this is a symptom of the systemic racism that's interwoven within this American culture. The Zimmerman case is an example of that. And if you think Zimmerman is just the Zimmerman Trayvon Martin situation is something unique, every 28 hours, an African American is killed by a police officer or a guard or some type of white vigilante. Every 28 hours, man. You know, to be tolerant people, we need to practice tolerance. Tolerance doesn't mean acceptance. Tolerance just means that you're practicing to be sensitive to other people's cultural struggles. And really, NigaHiga's comment was pretty insensitive if you really look at it, if you break it down. And also his name too is obviously a play on the word nigga. Like, you know, let's keep it real, right? It's clever, it's funny, it's tongue-in-cheek, but it's a play on the word nigga. So in saying that, I just want to drop a cipher on blacks and non-blacks to understand some of the struggle that we go through within this country. When the civil rights movement was won, President Nixon was quoted as saying that the blacks were the problem. We need to devise a system that recognizes that without seeming to do so. And that's the type of system that we're in right now. I'll get deeper on other posts. I just want to drop that cipher right there. Again, I hope I'm educating some people. Mr. NigaHiga, I hope you take this as an education, not as an attack on yourself. You know, you're an awesome dude. I hope you grow. You know, I hope some of your fans, viewers, and listeners grow too. Cipher complete. Shalom. Assalamu alaikum. Hope to have peace, and I'm out.